Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Starfield. My name's Steve Woody and I'm going to be taking you through this beginner's guide series. Now, this game is very much focused on story. It's an RPG game, so there's going to be a lot of story here. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know, from how to complete the game, how to build your ships, how to build your bases, and everything you need to know to really get the most out of this game if you're new or struggling. Now, this game released on the 6th of September, so that's in about a week's time. And so I've got about 100 hours in this game right now. I feel like I've got a good understanding of it and I'm happy to take you through it. So let's just jump straight ahead, press new, and we're going to start a new game. Now I'm going to leave the story. I'm not going to interrupt that. But after the story, I'm going to be talking you through all the things you need to do. And we'll break this down into different episodes. Okay, so I'll let you enjoy the introduction and then we'll get started. So it's the future. The year is 2330. Earth no longer exists. Well, it does exist, just not as we know it. We'll learn about that later. We're in a mining facility.
Seals are good. Oxygen's good. Just do what you did last time, and you're fine. Follow my one simple rule. Hella, what's my one simple rule?
Listen to Lynn. Boss lady knows best.
Exactly. Listen to me. Mining's just like any other job. Go steady, go safe, go home with a pocket full of credits at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. It's just like, I work in the Stardock. Except, with more cave-ins, lasers, and accidental dismemberment.
Very helpful. Thank you.
You're gonna be fine. Your first outing was solid. And, let's be honest, it ain't exactly astrophysics.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Yeah, and the fact that I can pinpoint a helium deposit from 300 meters.
Not untrue. A shame we won't find any down here. But the metal deposits alone should pay for our own helium. Hell, after this, we'll have enough jump fuel to bounce from one end of the settled systems to the next.
Hey, more minerals, more money. And so the cycle repeats itself.
Just no more unauthorized jumps in the house for room space, okay?
He's just a big baby. There are worse lives. You know, most Dusties don't even make it this far. I have a good feeling about you.
Group hug now or at the end of the shift?
One of these days, Hella, I am going to leave you behind.
Promises, promises.
Alright, so the way that the game starts, it really does guide you in gently and gives you the very basics. So there's nothing you can do here except walk. And so all you need to do is follow.
How are we on time?
A little longer. Grab some samples?
Always. But not you. Check on Isabel. Make sure she eases up on the breach. I don't feel like getting buried alive today.
Roger that.
Remember, Dusty, keep your breathing steady and never take that helmet off down here. Oxygen processors don't extend this far.
Yeah, because God forbid we drill on a rock with breathable atmosphere.
Know what I love about working in Freestar Collective space? Fewer regs. A job like this in the United Colonies? Huh. Dreams of red tape.
So WASD to walk, that's all we need right now. Just take in the atmosphere, take in the surroundings, have a look. There's not really much else you can do. We're just going to follow this blue icon. This is something we'll be following a lot in this game.
Look at this one over here. Calvert! No! No. It's a laser, not a sledgehammer. Ease up! Benning, if you got paid per break, you'd be a millionaire. Let's go!
Okay.
Okay.
What do we say, Dusty? You make your cut, you get your cut. No exceptions. Come on, pick it up. Troy, what's the yield?
Minimal at this point. Occasional glimmer, but it's weak.
What do you think? Stay the course?
No, ma'am. Juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Well, okay then. Let's call this one tapped. Why don't you move over to that big vein we looked at?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so, miners. Mining seems to be the future, so that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to get introduced to mining. This is the first thing we're going to need, and it's going to be important for the future, picking up resources, especially when we're on a planet.
Dusty, you're up. Grab a cutter and mine what you can. Metal deposits are in that cavern. I'll shout out when I need you.
Alright, so let's just take a moment. Top left is the mission that we just saw. Bottom right is the health at the moment. That's all we can see. We have a very limited HUD, which is nice. It guides you. If there's an item that you can pick up, you can see the information before you pick it up. So it tells you here, this is a cutter. It's an energy weapon, 4 energy. There's no mags or rounds. It tells you the fire rate, the range, the accuracy, the mass. Now the mass is important because one of the things in this game you're going to realise is you can pretty much loot anything, and you're going to very quickly become over-encumbered with too many items. And it can become overwhelming at a point. So, always keep an eye on the mass and how much things weigh. And then you've got the value, if you were to sell it, how much it's worth, and if it's got any mods. So we can press E to take it, or we can hold E to equip it. So there we go, we've done that. Now we've got this, we've now got the weapon that we can see in the bottom right hand corner. If we press mouse 1, we'll fire. We can see the energy going down. If we stop firing, the energy will recover. So we can see the battery there in the bottom right. There we go. Alright, so if we go to the left hand side, we can now see these blue icons. And that's what we need to do. We need to head over here.
You think we'll be done here soon? I hear this is the last day.
Alright, so lots of NPCs, lots of people talking, lots of... you can interact, you can talk to anyone.
Sure seems to like you. Guess you would know, being the boss and all.
Alright, so these are minerals. This is beryllium, which we can just mine by left clicking. And it's automatically added, as you can see in the top right, it's automatically added to our inventory. Now you can't go into your inventory, there's nothing you can do at this stage. All we need to do is mine these 5 rocks. And that's it. That is how you collect minerals. Now you're going to be able to do that later. Try not to get in the way of the laser.
Come on, it's time. You're with me.
Alright. So that's how we collect minerals. And now we just need to move down deeper into the mine. Now there is a story around mines, and these are going to become more apparent the more you play the game. But for now, it's going to introduce us to an artifact, which is an item within the game. It's a very significant item in the story mode of the game. We're about to collect our first one, and so one of the things that Bethesda do very well is the segues between sections, and that's kind of what we're going to go through now. So we're going to walk through here.
Ella, get the readings.
Yeah, about that.
Problem?
Not if you consider a spike in gravity readings a problem.
I don't.
You don't?
What we're after, it'll read as an anomaly. That's what I was told anyway.
So if I press caps lock, I can
Now you're
walk,
starting to freak me out.
and that's as fast as I can go.
It's just another job. Come on.
If I press caps lock, I can then walk normally, or run even. If I hold down shift,
We're getting
I can run even faster.
I think. Yeah, everything is just... Lynn, seriously, there's something really effed up about this.
Where is it, Hella?
Through there, I think.
Okay, you're up. Something goes wrong in there, we'll come get you.
Alright.
Why would anything go wrong?
Would you shut up? Both of you do your jobs. Client is on his way.
Hey, don't look at me. I've done my part.
So now they're just... I'm basically the guinea pig, right? So I can press... hold F to turn on and off my flashlight. And again, if I press caps lock, I will walk slowly. If I press caps lock, I will walk normally. And if I hold shift, I will run. So we're going to run up here.
Still getting weird gravity readings. I guess that's a good thing. Just keep going.
Do you see anything?
Alright, so weird gravity readings. You can see that because you've got these like weird things now that are just like suspended here. You can hear the music. Music plays a big part in the game. If you're in danger, you'll have certain music. If there's something you're around, you'll have certain music. So you can hear the music's changed. We can see there's an item here. And now what I need to do is I need to cut around this. This is something you'll have to do quite a lot. These will always be stuck in this type of environment. So you'll see these kind of rocks all suspended like this. We're going to mine around it. Don't worry, you can't damage it. You can't do anything to it. And then we're going to walk up to it and we need to take it. So this is a strange object. It's known as an artifact. We'll learn about this later. So let's go ahead and take it and transition into character selection.
Dusty, snap out of it.
Hey, come on. Come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
Alright, so here we are. This is your character selection screen. Now I'm not going to spend too much time here, but you can spend as long as you want. First thing you can do is select a base profile. So this gives you some just core features, some basically characters that are pre-created. So if you find one that you like, you can select that. And once you're done, you can fine tune. So then you go into body. Now I can choose to be either a little bit or very muscular, a little bit or very heavy, base or thin. So I can go from very thin, very heavy, to very muscular. You can pretty much choose what you want. You can choose male or female. You can choose to walk with confidence or more of an awkward walk. You can choose your skin tone. You can go to your face. You can change again. Just clicking on this, you can also use the A and the D keys to choose the difference in terms of head shapes. Once you've got a head shape that you like, you can also then choose here between thin and wide, square and round. So you get to kind of choose what you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to look like. You can choose your hair color, facial hair. Lots and lots and lots of different options, all the way down to different eyes. Not only different eyes, you can choose different eye colors. So many different options and things that you can choose here. It really is up to you what you want to do and who you want to be. So I'm not going to go through all of these details, but you get the idea. If I go to teeth, I can change my teeth. You can even put grills and things in if you want to. There's lots you can do. Necklines, things like that. So if you want any jewelry on, like a nose ring or anything like that, basically you get to really choose quite a lot. Face forms, scars, tattoos, all that good stuff. So yeah, we're not going to go through any of that. I'm going to leave everything pretty much basic, down to eye shader, lipstick. You can, if you want dirt on your face, you can go crazy. You can change this later, but for now we're going to just stick to the basics. Once you've done your aesthetics, and that is purely just aesthetical, go into your background. Now, background has an impact in the game because what you choose as a background opens up dialogue options to you later, depending on what you choose. Now, there's no right or wrong answer, but they do give you some starting skills. Skills are quite hard to come by. You're going to struggle to get them in the early game, so you do need to kind of think about what path you want to go on. You might run through this game several different ways. Now, in end game, you'll be able to do everything, but to start with, you have to choose what you want to do. Are you going to focus on being a shipbuilder? Are you going to focus on building bases? Are you going to focus on completing the storyline? Are you going to be a hoarder? What is your purpose? What is your outcome in this game? So there's multiple things you can do. There's so many things. There's the main storyline, the main quest. There's side quests. You've got base building. Although base building is quite... you can do quite a lot with it, but the main thing with the base building is then you can go into settlement management where you have multiple bases. You can only have, I think, 8 so far, but you can connect them together, and that's something we can talk about later. And also, this is the base game. One of the big things about this game is mods. Mods are going to be incredible. The community, I think, are going to be very, very much involved in modding in this game. So you're going to have lots and lots of options in the future. And that's also with updates that Bethesda will do to keep this game going. So at the moment, the base building is somewhat limited, but it does work and it is good. And also the shipbuilding. Now, shipbuilding is great, but again, there's only so much you can do. You can definitely build out a ship, and it's very detailed. And if you want to go down that road, you might choose something like Homesteader, or something where you've got the option to play with ships. So maybe something like a professor, because then you get research, geology, and astrodynamics. So astrodynamics is advanced technology, which is one thing, but it takes skill, patience, and a bit of love to coax even a more capable out of a ship's grav drive. So things like this, having these skills are going to help you in shipbuilding. So lots and lots of stuff you can do. Space Scoundrel if you want to be good at piloting. File Not Found gives you a bit of everything. But also you can see here, you can choose many different things. Now, one of the things you're going to struggle with at the start is going to be oxygen. You're going to run out of oxygen quite a lot. The second thing that's going to really affect you in this game is going to be your weight. And not your actual weight, I mean what you can carry. So having weight is also something very good to have. And that is something you're going to see, weightlifting. You can get that from Homesteader. Security is another one. You're going to need to pick locks. So having a point in security is good, and persuasion, having different conversations with people. You're going to be able to open up different dialogues, which could be a good thing. Now, if you want to talk your way out of a situation, persuasion's good. If you rather just shoot your way out of a situation, maybe you'll go for something more of a beast hunter or something, bouncer, whatever. But if you want more hand-to-hand combat, if you want to be able to shoot and fight more, you might want to go for something like Ronin, which is going to give you more stealth and dueling. So if you want to be stealthy, if you want to go for a soldier, because you want to fight a bit more, you can go for this. Lots of different stuff that you can do. For me, I'm going to go for industrialist. No right or wrong answer, you just get to choose. And then finally, we're going to choose our traits. Also, by the way, background does open up different dialogues within the game with different characters in different locations. So with traits, you can add up to 3 traits. Now you don't have to have any of these. They all come with a trade-off. For example, if I choose alien DNA, then it means I volunteered for an experiment. As a result, I get increased health and oxygen, but healing and food items aren't as effective. Well, you don't really need food in the game at the moment. Now, maybe this will come in later, but food and water are not required. This was a shock to me. I expected this, but you don't starve, so you don't need to eat, and you don't dehydrate, so you don't need water. Now, they do give you boosts, but they're not as effective. But to be honest, you're not really need them that much. So you might want this to get the increased health and oxygen, but it just means that even though you've got increased health and oxygen, if you have to heal yourself, the healing isn't going to be as good. So you need to take that in mind, that if you're going to heal, you might need more heals. So you're going to get into fights a lot. But you can have your alien DNA. It's not a bad one to have. Dream home means you get a home, but you end up with a mortgage and you have to pay debt weekly. This one means that you get an increase in combat effectiveness, but performing actions. So this one means you're connected to the feeling of others. So performing actions your companion likes will result in a temporary increase in combat effectiveness, but performing actions they don't like will have the opposite effect. This one means that if you're venturing alone, so here we go. So you're an extrovert, means you're a people person. So if you're with a human companion, you will exert less oxygen, but you'll exert more if you're alone. Now also, this is a human companion. You're going to spend quite a lot of time traveling with a robot. So just bear that in mind as well. It might be better just to not be an introvert or an extrovert. Also, there are other things. There are hero worshipper. This means you'll get an adoring fan. This is someone that will follow up. They'll randomly just jabber at you, but they will give you gifts. Now, I can't bear the thought of someone just randomly just jabbering at me, so I'm not going to select this, but you might want it. Another one here, your parents are alive and well. You can visit them at their home, but you'll automatically send them 2% of your credits every week. So, again, depends on whether you want it or not. The next thing to consider, there are 3 options here. So we have the Freestar Collective, the Neon Street Rat, and United Colonies. Now, if you've ever played a game like Cyberpunk, you'll know there's the corporate, there's the street, and then there's the kind of Outlander. Kind of same thing here. Freestar is kind of like the Outlanders. Neon Streets is kind of like the Street Rat, and United Colonies is kind of like the corporate, if you like, the industrialist. So I'm going to go for United Colonies in this run through. You can choose what you want, but it does mean that I cannot choose the others now. So this does give me dialogue options for United Colonies, and I get better rewards from some missions. However, my crime bounty will be greatly increased. So if I'm part of the United Colonies and I go to somewhere in the streets and I try and pick something up and I steal it, I could end up in jail. So just bear that in mind. Whereas if I was a street rat and I pick something up, I'm probably not going to get caught. However, if I'm a street rat and I go into United Colonies and I try and pick something up or I do something, I might end up in a fight. So just bear that in mind. The other thing as well is where you were raised. Were you raised enlightened, universal, or as an embrace? Now, Serpent's embrace. Serpents are kind of the dark side. You'll learn this later. There's a lot we'll talk about later on as we go through the museum. But for now, Serpent's kind of like dark side. But here we go. So you grew up worshipping the Great Serpent. Grav jumping provides a temporary boost to health and oxygen, but health and oxygen are lowered if you don't continually jump. It's like an addiction, but it can't be combined with any other religion or trait. So was I raised enlightened or was I raised universal? So if I choose one of these, this means that I grew up as a member of the Sanctum Universum. You gain access to a special chest full of items in the Sanctum Universum in New Atlantis. But I lose access to the House of the Enlightened chest. So I get a chest, but I lose a chest, and same the other way around. So choose what you want. There's lots of different things here. Wanting's quite a good one as well. So when your health is low, you do extra damage, but occasionally armed mercenaries are just going to show up and try and kill you randomly. So, yeah. Just different things to choose. You choose whatever's right for you. This is what I'm going to go for. Once you're done, click finish. Give yourself a name. Press enter. You can then choose your pronouns if you want to, if they're important to you. There's only 3 options, but if not, just leave them as they are and, yeah, confirm. And this is it. Once you're done, we'll jump back into the game. We'll continue. And again, this will have an impact in your run through, so choose carefully.
Oh, yeah. You were a real rags to riches to rags story when you signed on. From space industrialist to contract miner. Well, you got the sample. Client's on his way. Then we all get paid. You remember anything that happened? It's our payday, that's what. Sooner we get it off our hands, the sooner it isn't our problem anymore.
Alright.
Huh. Well, you passed out, that's for sure. Everything else, probably just your brain playing tricks. Either way, we got what we were looking for.
All this trouble for that stupid thing? Huh, sure don't look like much.
Never mind what it looks like. It's worth more than this mine has pulled in all month. We'll be... Speak of the devil.
Alright, let's go. So now we can move around. We've got a few more options. We can now move between first and third person view. Now that you've created your character, you can see your character.
Constellation contact is on approach.
Wait, the Explorers group? Thought they were kind of a joke.
So we can zoom in and out with the middle mouse wheel. And at this stage, we can actually walk around if we want to.
I'm just saying, they got a reputation. Hell, I bet half the crew here doesn't even believe they really exist.
Don't look good.
Half the crew doesn't believe Earth exists, but it's still there. Same with Constellation.
Okay, so they're going to head out.
Come on, exploring space? Who does that anymore? Ain't the space we've already got complicated enough?
Not to them, apparently.
Okay, so they're going to keep talking. We can, before we go out, we can look around. So if we go up to anyone, we can talk to them.
You fitting in okay? Mining crews ain't the friendliest, but they're good folks.
We can also pick stuff up. So it can be very tempting at this point to pick everything up. And I'd advise you against that. Now, anything you pick up, it's got a mass and a value. Now the mass is the problem because you're going to become over encumbered. You're going to have too much stuff on you. So if I pick up a staple gun, this circuit board for example, 0 wire, the pliers, just as an example. You can also pick up things from chests. Now chests are normally better. This one only has sushi rolls in it, so not really worth picking up. Don't really need the food.
You all right?
We can open up lockers.
Need some coffee or something?
We can look around.
Got a packet.
Now in here, these are credits. If I pick stuff up and there's a little red icon, it means I'm stealing. At the moment, if I take that, I'm not stealing it. I've got 162 credits. But things like the vacuum taker I can pick up, wire spool I can pick up, but things like this sports bottle, it's a waste. Yes, you can take it if you want to, and you can sell stuff later. That is an option. But just bear in mind that as you're walking around and picking stuff up, you don't want to waste too much of your inventory space. Now this I can pick up. This is going to give me some logs that I can pick up. Things that you can talk about, lore, stories.
All yours.
And literally, because I've just stolen that for her, she's like, "Hey, you just stole my stuff." And this happens later. You can still pick people's food from in front of them, and they'll react to you, which is, I think, really good.
Ain't so good at picking sites.
Supervisor's log. It's day 2 of Argus Extractor's
this time.
Heretic.
Like,
Restart
we're-
collective claim ID Beta 7548 Alpha.
There we go.
Site setup was fairly painless. New record for us. 18 hours, including the elevator. The prefabs are starting to show their age, though. Time to rebudget for new equipment. Again. The crew is good. Spirits are high enough. Hella is a pain in my ass, as always. And completely indispensable. What's the saying? The problem is, I love him, and he knows it. Calvert remains the weak link. He just can't train away stupid. But she's got a daughter on Mars or someplace and needs the cred, so she gets one more chance. If she does wash out in the end, we've still got the Dusty. And there's definitely some promise there.
Alright. So, this is the hab. This is the mine. That's where we just come out of. Let's head outside. There's another room here. Again, a few more things that you can pick up. There's the...
Seem to be getting
Supervisor's log
Hunger.
supplemental.
That's
Still day 2
Argos
of
for
Argos
ya.
Extractor's Heretic. Restart collective claim ID Beta 7548 Alpha. As far as anyone knows, this is just another ore run. Vectera's
You
got
got a few
enough
more
mid-level
dicks to go
veins to
before I
keep
feel
everyone
like
working and not asking questions. I've told Hella everything he needs to know, which is pretty much everything I know. That this is another one of Barrett's special orders. He made good with the payment for Kazal, even if it was a bust. This time, I'm not so sure.
Alright.
This place is giving me the willies. I think we're going to find something. I just have no idea what it could be, or why Barrett might want it. But those sweet constellation credits mean we dig our holes and keep our mouths shut. And I'm okay with that.
So as we can see here, here's an item.
Hopefully, between Barrett's mysterious thing and the ore itself, we'll be done with this rock in 5 days, when the transport is supposed to come back for extraction.
Alright. So here, this restores 2 health, and it uses minus 16% O2 for 3 minutes. So if we took this, we could use it, and we can have that buff. So that's what food and water gives us. This one restores 3 health.
This rock.
And if we take it,
Hey, that was my sandwich.
and there we go. So we just stole his food and his lunch. Alright, let's head outside.
Holly up here. Damn.
All right, Dusty. Airlock. Put your helmet on.
Alright, so in order to equip a helmet and put our helmet on, we need to press I. I will take us to our inventory screen. So now this is a good opportunity to teach you about this. We can see our credits in the bottom left hand corner and our mass. Now I told you, this is where we need to be careful because our mass can quite easily fill up. Here we've got new items. This is everything new that we've acquired. And you can tell a new item because it has the little exclamation mark by it. Alright, press tab to go back. We can go into our weapons. This is our cutter and it gives us all our information. We can also press escape as well as tab. They both go back. This is our spacesuit, so we can see our information about the spacesuit that we have. Our tunnel mining pack, so we can see our pack that we have. So these are weapons, spacesuits, packs, helmets. So we need to click helmet, and we need to click on it to equip it. When it's equipped, you can see it's equipped because it has this little triangle in the top left. This means equipped. So click to unequip or click to equip. Now we have our helmet on. We've got some outfits here. So we've got a jumpsuit, a miner outfit, and a space undersuit. So you can see the difference. It tells you red means it's worse than what you're currently wearing. So right now thermal is 15, but with this thermal is 10. Airborne is 0, but airborne can be 10. And I can also press V to compare. So this will compare the difference between the two. So I can see the space undersuit compared to the miner undersuit. So the space undersuit weighs less, but it's got less physical. It gives me more energy and less M. So thermal, bit lower. Corrosive, a little bit lower. Airborne better, and mass is less. So I might want to go ahead and change this. Put the space undersuit on instead. That way, if I do have this, they both give me plus. Well, this one gives me plus 5 health and plus 5 O2. And this one, this minor one gives me plus 5% O2 recovery. So do I want more? Do I want more health and more O2, or do I want more O2 recovery? So I'm going to go for the plus 5% at the moment. Go back. Aids. This is going to be my water. It's going to give me my boost. Now you can't combine boosts. It will only ever take the strongest boost. So if I take my sandwich, it will restore 3 health. This one restores 2 health. But also, the action used is minus 16% O2 for 3 minutes. So if I drink this, which gives me minus 16% O2 usage, and I've got another one that I take, which is minus 20%, this one will not work. It will be, the effects won't matter. It will just take the minus 20%. Medpack restores 3% health for 10 seconds. So, alright. Another thing that I can do, by the way, if I go into aid, and this is very important, is I can favorite this. Favorite it gives it a heart. If I press B to favourite, this is very much if you've ever played Fallout, similar. So now I've got my keybinds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, left bracket, right bracket. So 0 right now is this. This is what it is. So if I click on this, this is now set for 0. If I press 0, I will quick use this. Alright, if I come back and go to my weapon, this weapon, if I do the same thing and press B, I can put this in slot 1. Alright, now if I press 1, I'm going to pick up this weapon. The notes that I've just picked up, so here are my 3 notes, which is my on space mining and my 2 supervisor logs. If you want to collect those, you can. And then resources. So resources, I've got 0 wire, which I picked up, and this beryllium, which we got from mining earlier. Resources we'll use for crafting later. Miscellaneous, you can still use this stuff. It does still have some purpose, but a lot of it is junk. And this is where you end up picking up a lot of junk. And it'll be in here. And then everything. So that's it. That's our inventory. Alright, we've got our helmet on. Now, as we start to come out of the inventory screen, we'll come back to this main screen. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of this. Basically, this is your character screen. It tells you your level and your health. And as I move around, I'll see these dots. Now, more dots will become available later. We've got skills, inventory, missions. We've got this one here, which we can't use right now. Star map. And we've got this one here, which we can't use right now. You'll unlock these later as we play. So there's 2 more that we'll unlock. So skills, we're not going to go into that just now. Inventory, we've just been in there. If I click on this, it takes me through. Now if I come out, I can press I to go straight into this. Every one of these has a hotkey. So star map, I can just press M and I'll go to the star map. I press I go to inventory. I've got missions, which if I press L, for some reason it's L, don't ask me why, I go into my missions. Now if I click on missions, this is where I can toggle which is tracked and which is not. So only one quest can be tracked at a time. Select the name of an objective, click it, and it will be tracked. If it's tracked, it will be blue. Alright. And it tells me what I need to do. So this is all missions. This is my main mission. Any faction missions, any miscellaneous mission activity, and what's been completed. Now, like any good Bethesda game, it's very easy to get sidetracked with missions and activities. For the purpose of this run through, we're going to focus on the main missions. So right now, one small step. So that's all I need to do. Alright, Press tab, I come back here. So we've looked at inventory, we've looked at missions, we can't do anything here. Star map. Let's have a quick look at the star map. If I click on this, this is where we currently are on the planet. So this is the Argos Extractors mining outpost. We can see the type of planet, we can see the resources on the planet. We can see the makeup of the planet. There's something that's unknown over here, and if I scroll out and zoom wheel out, I can zoom in and out. If I press tab, I go backwards. So backwards takes me from the surface to the planet itself. So now I can look around the planet itself. And there might be other points of interest and other places to land. Now I can look at the planet, or if I press R, I can look at the planet's resources. So if I want to land on a planet later, I can choose where to land, and I can land around different resources. So nickel, I can see here this is going to be, for example, benzene, aluminium, etc, etc. Hide the resources, I see the planet. Alright, I can see where I am. And if I look around, we can kind of get an idea of the solar system. Get a kind of first look of this. Now, don't worry, if I press tab, I go back again. Alright. So now we're in the solar system. So we can see the different planets. These kind of, some of them will tell you what's around. We know some stuff. There's moons as well. So if I look at a planet and I click on it, I come into it, I go to the planet view. If I click on it again, I cannot fast travel at this time, but then I would go to this planet as well. I can also look at the moons and other things like this. So, very good to get an understanding of how this works, the navigation system. If I come back another tab, I go to the galaxy view. And this is where there are over 1,000 planets in total. We can go to different galaxies. Now, to go here, I need to be level... Well, it's a level 55. This one's a level 1, so a level 5. So, you kind of get the idea. And then back here is like level 1. So, you'll get to explore. We'll get to travel. Alpha Centauri, Sol, Olympus, Crix. There's a lot of different places we'll get to go to. But you get the idea. So, this is the galaxy. So, from the galaxy, we can go into the system. From the system, we can then go into the planet. From the planet, we can go to the surface. Alright. So, coming back to the menu. So, that's a star map. A lot to take in there. There's a lot to go through. Sometimes you'll have to explore planets. They reckon about 80% of the planets are barren. But planets will have the ability for you to collect resources. You can set up bases. You can set up automatic mining. There's a lot of stuff you can do later. You can connect bases together. As I said, but there's a limited amount of bases you can start with right now. So that's the star map. Another thing you can do is in your missions later, you'll be able to fast travel from the mission screen directly to the planet. So you don't always have to go into the star map. You'll be able to travel from the missions tab, or you can travel from the star map. Totally up to you. Last one is skills. Let's go into skills. Alright, so you receive 1 skill point every time you level up. Each skill also unlocks a challenge. Complete the challenge and then spend a skill point to rank up that skill. Alright, so when you unlock the skill, you get the next level. But to go for another level, you need to complete a challenge. And I like that. It's a really good system. So let's have a look. There's different categories. We've got physical, social, combat, science, and tech. And depending on what you chose as a character, you're going to have a few options available. The top level is level 1. So this was boxing, fitness, stealth, weightlifting, and wellness. Now, when I unlock this, so for example, if I was to go into weightlifting, okay, so now I can unlock, if I have a skill point, level 1. And that would increase my total carrying capacity by 10 kilograms. But then in order to unlock level 2, I would need to then complete a challenge. For example, I would need to run for 1,000 meters with 75% of my carrying capacity. It gives you different things. And I really like this. It's a great skill system. Now, you need to unlock certain items. For example, I need to unlock certain items here before I can unlock the next level, and so on and so forth. There's some really cool things to be able to go through in physical and in social. So let's have a look at persuasion. So right now I have a level 1 in persuasion, which means I have 10% increased chance of success when persuading someone. Now, I need to succeed in 3 speech challenges. So I need to persuade someone 3 times before I can unlock persuasion level 2, which gives me a 20% increased chance. Okay, so coming back, we've got combat, science, and we've got tech. So tech's quite a good one because when you unlock these, they just unlock. For example, you can attempt to hack advanced locks. We'll do that later. This one means I can now utilize ship thrusters. This one means I can utilize boost packs. This one means that I unlock ballistic ship weapons. They have a 10% increased damage and cost 20% less in targeting mode. So different things here that you might want to do. So science is another one here. So adds an option to zoom the hand scanner up to 20 minutes and it's increased to 20 meters. So surveying, good one to have. Resource requires to craft items complete is reduced by 10%. Medicine, geology, etc, etc. So, lots of stuff that you can do. But the boost pack is definitely one you want to get. Boost pack training, definitely a good one to have. Alright, let's come back out of this. So now we've looked at everything we've got available to us. We've looked at inventory, missions, we've looked at star map and skills. Let's go back to the game. If you've ever played Fallout 4, which was one of Bethesda's previous games, this is a tip to the... if you've ever been in the vault, this is when you leave the vault for the first time. It's a little Easter egg there, quite nice. Alright, this is this, we're outside. So now we get to go and meet our contact, our client. Then we'll get into combat. And then we'll get into the ship. And then that will be it for this introduction video.
Really? In a discovery class? That shit's older than this moon.
Come on.
Alright, let's go meet with a client. So there's the first ship that we get to see. And there's our client.
Barrett?
Man.
Been a long time.
Yes, it has. That mine on Bendy, right?
Kazal, hellhole, like this place. Rare mineral contract. Your tastes are a bit more sophisticated now, huh?
So, you found something?
Right here. The new guy found it.
That right. And everything went cool? Just like grabbing those minerals on Bendy?
Kazal. And no, Barrett, not cool. He passed out after the extraction. Woke up saying all kinds of nonsense.
Is that right, cowboy? Went on a trip, huh?
And you can choose your dialogue options. Now, choosing your dialogue is going to open up different dialogue options.
That fun, huh? Not the most gentle push into the great mysteries of space, but hey, been there.
Look, just hand over the credits, and I'll be happy to never see this thing. Or you ever again.
That's why I like you, Lynn. All business.
Barrett, the scanners on the frontier are reporting a ship coming in hot from orbit.
I really thought I'd lost them.
Barrett?
There it is. So now we need to get ready. Let's go and grab a gun. So here we go. Here's a gun and some ammo. And also there's a med pack. We'll take that. So we can press I. Now if we press I, the game will pause at this stage. So we're okay. The game's paused. Now in here, what we need to do is go into our weapons. We've got a weapon, but in order to select our weapon, we want to press B to favorite it, and we want to be able to choose a slot for it. That way we can quick press it. Or we can simply just click it to equip it, because we've got the cutter right now. So if we click this, it's now equipped. Or because I've set it as a favorite, and this is important to do, you need to understand this. It's not obvious, but selecting a favorite is important. So we need to be able to equip this as our hotbar. So we've got our cutter and our weapon, and we can now press 1 and 2 to switch between them, which we're going to do right now. So come back out into the game, and here we go. Here's the cutter, and here we go. So stick to cover. These guys are going to come out. When they do, we're going to start shooting them. So headshots are always recommended. If we go to the right side here, we'll be able to see these pirates as they come out. There we go. So now you get your first look into space combat. Right, so one's dead. We've got XP from that. You obviously want to try to avoid getting hurt as much as possible. So it's not as obvious when you're shooting. You can pick stuff up from all of these people. So if I want to, I can pick this up. Now I've picked it up. If I press I, I've got another weapon now, so I can come back and do the same thing again. Now I've got this maelstrom, so I can do the same thing. I can press B, press 3, and now I've connected this one. In some games, you'll aim high because of ballistics dropping down, or you'll aim for the head. I found the hitboxes on this are a little bit, they're not great. It's not always perfect, but they'll improve it. That's probably one of the things they'll patch quite quickly. But now we've got a new gun, so here we go. Now I've got this gun. If you blow up their backpack, they will explode, so just bear that in mind. There's another pirate over here, so we'll go and get this guy. There we go. Just be careful when you blow up their backpack, because that happens. Pick up all their gear. There we go. So now we've just looted all of their gear. There's one of our miners. He got killed. We'll take his gear as well. So we're going to look around. We're going to walk up to all of these pirates, and we're going to press E. So as you can see here, I can pick up this gun. If I pick up on their body, I pick up the gun as well. The maelstrom is the gun. So I can pick the gun up individually, or I can do this. Now, I can press R to transfer, and I can transfer it this way, and I can look at everything. So if I want to look individually, I can, at what they've got. Or if I come back out, and I want to pick it up quickly, I just press E, and it will pick it up automatically. There we go. So now I've got ammunition. I can reload by pressing R. I can see my health. My health's taken a little bit of a hit, so I can press 0. And that's going to heal me. And I can check all of these bodies. And that's combat. So staying undercover, try not to get hit. Letting them do their thing first. There's another cutter, so I can pick that up. That looks like another miner. Yep, another miner that died, unfortunately. So we lost a couple. Oh, another one there. So there we go. We've taken up their items. This guy's...
Did you see Lynn? Ran straight at those pirates like it was nothing.
Yep. I saw. Alright, so now we've got to go and find Lynn, who's over there. So now we've kind of cleared up the area, which is what we wanted to do. We've picked up everything we need to pick up. We're good to go. So now we've got a new gun. We know how to swap between the cutter, the pistol, and now our new gun. The crosshair, I don't really like the crosshair. You can turn it off if you want to. If you press escape and go into settings, into interface, you can actually turn the crosshair off if you prefer to. I don't think you need it. It actually plays off better without it. But yeah, that's it. Now we're done.
Of course Barrett was being followed. Every time.
Now that was some fine work under pressure. You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions? You're coming with me to Constellation. You're part of this now.
Alright, so here we go.
You ever stare up at the stars at night wondering what's out there? Well, that's us. That's where we go.
So once you've done something, it'll grey out.
Hey, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but we don't exactly know what the artifact might have done to your head, and Constellation is really the only group qualified to help.
Oh, no, Barrett. No. You think you're just going to take off after the mess you caused?
All right. I guess I did just put you all on the Crimson Fleet hit list. How about I stay and I send your Dusty here in my place? I know, but he's not some miner anymore, Lynn. Soon as he touched that rock, something changed. Don't tell me you can't feel it.
Fine. It's a deal. Get out of here, Dusty. You're on to bigger things. Now that we've been attacked, we've got to pack up and move on. Argos will come for the rest of us. You get going.
Alright.
Just go. Before I say something I regret.
Well, now that that's settled. Vasco, get him to the lodge. No deviations unless absolutely necessary, okay? Protocol Indigo.
Indigo. Again. Very well.
Again.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And it even tells the time.
There's my Constellation Watch. For those of you that purchased the Constellation package, you'll actually have a physical watch.
Look at that. The watch fits you perfectly. Now, questions?
Alright. Press tab to exit dialogue when you're done asking questions. So, let's ask some quick questions.
They're just following the loot, like pirates do. And I have something of a reputation as a loot collector.
Okay.
That, my friend, is the million-credit question. And Constellation can find the answer. With your help.
Alright.
See, that's the problem with the settled systems. Too easy to take everything for granted. While everyone else is busy playing politics, we're the ones braving the unknown. Charting the vastness of space. Without us, the galaxy is just a big room with the lights turned out. Technically, it's not even mine. Consider it a loan. Vasco will keep you on course. Besides, I'm making an exception since you can tell Constellation about that vision you had. Come on. You're really not at all curious about that light and music show you experienced? Why it only affected you? Because if you didn't notice, we've all been handling it since with no problem. The way I see it, Constellation needs that artifact, but they also need you. This mystery is only getting bigger each step we take. And you're part of it now.
Alright. There we go. So now we're done. We can exit.
And Vasco, don't let him break my ship.
We're still in one piece. Oh god, I'm gonna throw up.
Alright, so there we go. That is the mining outpost complete. We've done everything we needed to do. We've had our introduction. We've met some characters. We now understand how to mine. We now understand combat. And now we're going to go on board the ship. So, we're going to the ship. Once on board, we come to the hatch here and we press E. And this is now our ship.
Captain Steve, I assume you know how to fly a Class A starship. As Barrett likes to say, it's as easy as learning to ride a bike. I will attempt to boost the shields, just in case there are any difficulties.
Okay, so in our ship here, we can see here we've got a toilet. You can steal anything from your ship. There's not really much point, but here's Barrett's personal slate.
Well, hey there, irate pirates. Looks like you finally did it. Boarded my ship, scrapped my bot, ripped those beautiful brown eyes out of my adorably cherubic face. And then you discovered the guy you had pegged as a treasure hunter doesn't actually have any treasure. Not anymore. It's true. I may have had a pricey trinket or two when I evaded your sorry asses at Kumazi, but brother had to buy fuel. So you get nothing, except my ghost. Because I am gonna haunt your asses till the end of your days. Which, for a Crimson Fleet pirate, is about, what, another week?
Alright, so there's another one here.
You know the drill, Vasco. Protocol Indigo that deviations, distractions, and dalliances are completely necessary in getting this fine vessel, the Discovery-class Starship Frontier, back home in one piece. I guess I'm still technically borrowing it from Constellation, even if I have no intention of actually giving it back.
Alright, so there's a bed you can sleep to regain health and to fast forward time. Over here there is a research station, so you can do some researching. We'll talk about that in just a moment. You can pick up everything if you want to, but you're just stealing from yourself, so I'm going to leave it all for now, but you can pick it all up. You can also sit in the jump seat if you want to. As you bring in more crew, they will start to be around here. But yeah, this is the ship. So if I just quickly go into the research station before we go anywhere else. So this is the research lab. So we can discover new crafting recipes by completing research projects. Each research project requires materials in order to make progress. The materials needed can range from raw minerals to organic substances. Alright, so if we go along to the first one here, click on number 1. Alright, so as you see here, by the way, there's pharmacological, food and drink, outpost development, equipment and weaponry. So these are the areas that we can research. Now in here, if I go into the first one, you'll see here, I've got on the left hand side, that was the first set of menus. Now I can do a performance enhancement or medical treatment. So if I wanted to do the performance enhancement, I require 2 argon, 2 tetrafluorides, and 3 metabolic agents, of which I do not have at the moment. So I need those, and you can actually put a few in at a time. So if I've only got the argon, I can come in here, I can give it the argon, and then I can go away, get the tetrafluorides, and then come back later. So you can go to planets, you can mine these, you can research them that way. You'll pick them up as you go through the game. Now this is Performance Enhancement 1. If I want to go to Performance Enhancement 2, I would need some more stuff. For this one, I would need these 3. So if I click on one, so let's say I click on medical treatment, for example, it then tells me what I need, what I've got, any required skills, and again, what it does. So this is how I can create a paste and infuse bandages. So I need aluminium, amino acids, and microbial. If I wanted to go for food, then I can make some old earth cuisine. I need some bread, some red meat and some cheese. Spice, fibre and water to make a beverage development. And if I click on it, again, I can see the details of what's required. And then mixology, some other stuff I might need. Then I've also got this, which is manufacturing. So here I can make a... for manufacturing, this is going to be a fabricator. So I need some 0 wires, some adaptive frames, some iron and some sealant. Resource extraction here, if I want this. But this one's blocked, because this one, if I click on this, I need a skill. I need outpost engineering, rank 1. So, again, this might be a skill when you get a chance to level up. If I go into my skill menu, so outpost engineering. So if I come out of this, come into my menu, go to my skills, outpost engineering, which was, I believe, in science. Where is it? It might have been in tech. No, that's engine systems. Can't remember where outpost engineering is. That's weapon engineering. Yep. Oh, outpost engineering. There it is. So this, I need to spend 7. I need to spend 7 more skill points in science before I can unlock the expert science. So I need to spend 7 skill points in here to get outpost engineering. And then I can construct improved outpost modules. So again, there's a lot of progression required in this game for you to be able to go through. But that's the research bench. Okay, so the only other thing that I've got here is this, which is the galley. So if I go to the galley here and click here, I can cook. So here I can make some alien jerky. I just need some membrane and some nutrients and I can make alien jerky. I can make an alien sandwich, an alien scrambled egg. And it tells you what it gives you as well. So this one gives you plus 60 energy resistance for 5 minutes. Plus 60 damage resistance for 5 minutes. +1 XP gained. So alien tea, distilled water and fibre, definitely something you want because this gives you your XP gain. And XP gain means you level up quicker. So you always want to have an alien tea on you if you can help it. And then, yeah, some other stuff here. So always bearing in mind that food and water, whilst you don't need food and water to live, it does give you a lot of boosts. Okay, and so that's it. And there's also stuff here that you can pick up as well. Coffee and things like that. Alright. So next thing we're going to do is go in, open the hatch. And now we're going into the cockpit area. Alright, so just before we get to the cockpit and fly, on the right hand side here, you're going to see here, this is the captain's locker. Alright, the captain's locker. And on this side is the cargo hold. So inside the cargo hold, if I press transfer, this is all of the stuff on the ship. So this ship already has quite a lot of stuff on it. And I can take all of this. Now I can take it individually, or I can press R to take all. Now if I take all, and I do that, now if I go into my inventory, I am overweight. I am 201 out of 135. That means as I walk now, I'm going to start to lose O2. Can you see my O2 going down just by walking? And if I run, it goes down really quick. Once my O2 gets down to a certain level, I'm going to just show you this quickly. Once my O2, I start to black out, I start to get dizzy. Now I've got CO2. It's gone red. Can you see the bottom left-hand corner? My bar has gone red. Once that goes all the way, I'm going to start taking damage and I'm going to black out. So the heavier you are, the quicker your O2 goes down. The heavier you are, the quicker your O2 goes down. Once your O2 has depleted, you will then start to burn CO2. When your body is full of CO2, you will start to take damage. Okay, so it really helps to understand that mechanic. Then you need to stop and not move, and then your CO2 will be depleted and it will replay it with O2. And you can see that in the bottom left-hand corner on the compass. So that is how that mechanic works. So again, running quickly while encumbered is going to hurt you. So we can now go back to the research desk, a research station. And now we've picked up some materials from the ship. Which means if I was to come into one of these, I can have a look at what I've got. Now, I've got some aluminium here. So if I go to medical treatment, I don't have any of the other stuff, but I do have the aluminium. Which means I can use... I've got 47 in my inventory. I need to use 2 of 2. If I do this, they will be consumed. That's now done. So, sudden development. Okay. Now we've started. Now this is completed. We still need to do the rest. Now we do have 2 of 3 of the anti-micro of these. We have some of them, but not all of them. And we've input 2 of 3. Alright, so if we go to food, we can do the same thing. Beverage development, we've got some water. Sorry, we've got some fibre in our inventory. We've got some fibre. So we go ahead and we can confirm that. There you go, that's now complete. So we can start to make some progress in these areas. And this is just basically by using what we've got inside. So we've now just done this, which is aromatic and alkaline. So we need some more spice. We don't have any more. For the manufacturing, this one's going to be a bit easier. We've got the 0 wire. So if we do this, we've only used one of the 2. Iron, we've got some iron, so we can use that. And sealant, we've got that, so we can use that. So we've almost got what we need to be able to make the fabricator. But we need adaptive frames. So you're going to have to buy some of this stuff. If we don't have enough of it, you might need to buy it. Helmet mod, if we want to do a helmet mod, we've got some tungsten there we can put in. Also the cosmetics we've got as well. So we've put in our 2 cosmetics and our polymer. So sometimes, if you don't have a material, you can combine materials to make it. So for example, we needed some polymer, so we've got that. But we've got the cosmetics as well. So now we just need 2 more polymer and we can do our helmet mod. And same with weapons. So barrel mod, if we want to unlock this, we're going to need some iron. There we go, sudden development there. Now what we need is some sealant. So we've run out of sealant, we need a little bit more. Let's go ahead and use that. And that's now complete. So now we've completed this project. Okay, we've got some XP, but also we've now unlocked barrel mods number 1. Which means we can now, later on when we get to a weapon station, we can add barrel modifications to our weapons. Alright. So now we can't do barrel mod 2 because we need weapon engineering and we don't have that. But we can look at the grips and the stock mods. Alright, so we need some aluminium, we need some nickel, we need some sealant. And we've got enough of all of this, so we can go ahead and we can do this. Yep, that's done. We need to add the rest of the sealant. We'll do that now. And this is now finished. So we've now upgraded this. Alright, coming back to our weapons. Optics and laser mods. Okay, so aluminium. We can click on this to confirm. Okay. And sealant. Now, we've got enough sealant just to be able to do this. So now we've got laser mods as well. So now we can start to modify our guns. And that's pretty much everything that we can do at this stage is done. We need weapon engineering to be able to continue. Here we can't really do much more. We need some more polymer. We don't have that at the moment. Alright. So all of the research we can do has been done. We're going to back out of the research station. Now, if we look at our inventory, we're at 183 of 185. We are still overweight. So what we're going to do is come back to our ship. And here we're going to click R to go into transfer mode. Now here we can see our inventory. So right now this is the ship's inventory, the Frontier. If we press Q, this is now our inventory. So we can switch between the ships and our own inventory. So in our own inventory, we're going to click on weapons. Now we have a cutter. We actually have 5 cutters. We don't need 5 cutters. So we can press E to store these. So we're going to go ahead and store 4 of them. So we're just going to store 4. We drag this back and we're going to click confirm. We have a elemental ripshank, which is legendary, by the way. So you can either have common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. Legendary should have some more about it. So this is plus 10% damage against humans, plus 25% increase in attack speed, randomly deals corrosive, radiation, poison, and incendiary damage. Alright, it's got 12 physical damage. The cutter was 4 energy. So we can equip this if we want to. So we can press B to equip. Or if we want to, we can go and later, not in this screen because this is the transfer screen, but in the inventory screen we can set it as a favourite. We've got our Eon, which is our gun. So this is 12 physical damage, whereas the gun's only 10 physical damage. So the actual knife, because it's a legendary knife, does more damage than the gun does. The Maelstrom only does 4 damage, so it's not actually a very good gun. We've got an axe, which does 17 damage, so the axe is even better than this. 17 damage for the axe. I'm going to store these because I don't need them. And then these are just basic ripshanks. So basic ripshanks, we can get rid of both of those. We don't need them because we've got this one. So the 17 damage that this axe does, but this one has a 25% attack speed, 10% damage, and it does elemental damage. So we don't need the axe. Also, we've got 4 of these guns we picked up. We don't need all 4 of them, so we can get rid of 3 of them. And you can see our mass is coming down. Now all we're doing is storing this in the ship. So it's still in the ship. So that's our weapons that we've got. We've got 1 spacesuit, 1 pack, 1 helmet. We've got quite a bit of apparel now we picked up. So we don't actually want that. Get rid of that. Some elbow grease gear if we want that. A minor utility outfit, which we've got if we want that. A space trucker casual wear. And a space undersuit. So again, you get to choose what you would prefer to wear. I think in this instance, this has got more energy, but this is better for everything else. So we're going to get rid of everything else for now. We don't want it on us. Keep it in the ship. Ammo we'll keep. Aid we'll keep. Notes we'll keep. Notes don't really take up anything. They're fine. Resources. Now this is what's taking up quite a lot. So we're going to go ahead. Now we can store these individually, or we can press T. It tells us in the bottom right there, and we can store everything in one go. And miscellaneous as well. So this is all that miscellaneous stuff that we've got. Again, we can store this if we want to as well. Now we can't store the artifact, but everything else here we can store. Now I'm going to keep a digipick on me. And the reason for this is because this is your lockpick. And you're going to use these later. So I'll always keep a digipick on me. Alright. And that's it. So now my mass is down to 75. And everything else is stored in the cargo hold of the ship. which, by the way, the cargo hold of the ship is 450 right now. So it's 107 out of 450, so still limited. If I turn around here, there's a locker. If I open the locker, I can take that item. So there's another item there. And this shows you everything I've got. So I've got my 2 items here. And we just picked up a new note, which is this one here. Alright. So now, because I'm in inventory, if I go to my weapons, I can now choose all of my weapons. So favorite. Number 1 can be my knife. Number 2 can be my cutter. So I come to cutter, press B, select the spot for it. Number 3 can be my basic gun. Number 4 can be my... There we go. So now if I come out, I've got these items. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright. And that's it. That's everything that you need to know. So far, we've managed to go through the mine. We know how to mine. We know how to fight. We know how to research. We know how to cook. We now have a ship. And so that's everything we're going to cover in this introductory video. We've been through all of the menu systems. We understand how everything works. Now, before we go ahead and fly and get into our ship, we're going to end the video here and we'll start the next video. It's been quite a long video, but again, it's a good introduction into everything that we need to do. So we're kind of done at this point. We're ready to take off. But before we do that, again, I'm going to end this video. We'll start in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon.